Alright, this is my version of the jehugarcia battery pack, my project. I hope I pronounced your name right. This is just a plastic ammo box. Okay, so there are two modules in here. I rewrapped them a little so there wouldn't be any chance of anything short-circuiting. But look, if you want to build an e-bike battery with these things, I wouldn't really recommend one module because it's a little bit too much amperage you're going to be using. So right now I have two of these. One, two. And this is kind of ridiculous because all you do is you take like a parallel connector and plug the XT60s into the parallel connector, one from each module. And you come up here and that gives you like two modules connected together. And I put an extension cord on it so I could run it out here and then put a strain relief up here where the thing closes. Actually, all this stuff is in that crap they sell at Hobby King. They call it like a bag or a charging bag. I don't know what it is, but I've got that wrapped around these things just in case. And the rest of this is my toolbox with a spare tube and stuff for my bike. So this just bungees on the back. Okay, the real kind of question people seem to have is probably more to do with charger. I mean, you don't really need to buy a charger. This little module came from China. It's basically what they call a constant current, constant voltage module. There's no fancy gauge, but it's a heavy thing with a fan on the bottom and a huge heat sink. I think it's rated for 1500 watts, which I'm not using. So basically all you got to do on the input side, you put a connector that's got to go to a 12 volt source, but you can get a 12 volt source like a ham radio power supply. And then on this side you have a connector that goes right into that paralleled 2-pack paralleled connector. Okay, so you power this thing up and you get the voltage going, but you got to put like an inline something or other that'll show you the voltage and the amps, because you got these two little, actually you got three, you got these pots here, these kind of screw down multi-turn pots. You got one over here too, potentiometers. Okay, so what you try to do is you just try to set the voltage for roughly, it's a 36 volt pack 10, so I set it for about 41, maybe a little less. 42 would be a full charge. Okay, so the whole sequence is on the other side you're going to set the current. So you hook up the battery, you got the 12 volt coming in, you got the battery hooked up, then you slowly wind up the current until you have maybe 1.5 to 2 amps. So now you've got a constant voltage over here and a constant current over here. That's how you charge a battery, constant voltage, constant current. Okay, so now you just put the battery on the charger. And the one other thing you need to do is you need to get the thing to where the voltage is dropping down. Well, not the voltage, the amperage is dropping down. Because as the amperage starts to drop, that's when you want to disconnect the charger. It's a different amount, but when the amperage drops in half, that's when you disconnect the charger. This little module, these modules come out of China. I'll try to put up a link. There's 3 or 4 sellers. They range from like $20 to $30. There's another thing you can buy, another constant current, constant voltage thing on Amazon that's got a meter on it that you can use. So decide what you want, but that's basically how you charge lithium batteries. And if you set this thing for maybe 4.1 volts per cell, you'll never really fully charge them, which will make them last longer. So there's the battery in a box with my tools. And there's the battery charger I use. I've run it through 10 cycles. I've never had any problem. They hold their voltage pretty well. The most I ever draw is probably 16 amps. So there's 4 sets, so I'm basically drawing 4 amps per parallel, because they're double parallel in the modules, and then I've got double parallel again. So anyway.